Hey, it's Barb, and over the past 4 weeks, we've been talking about a systematic way for you to set yourself up for success when you go to a show or you take your horse away from home, because almost everybody goes to a clinic or goes to ride with friends on the trail, or maybe just goes over to somebody's arena to have a good time. And no matter what, when we go away from home, there's a tendency that we feel vulnerable. And of course, everything's a lot more unpredictable. And frankly, what I've learned when I ask for your feedback over these 4 weeks, it became a little bit more clear to me that a lot of the pieces and parts feel unsteady, and they feel unknown, uncertain, of course, and that's a little bit a part of the fun of it. But some of them are just beyond the pale, as far as, things like we don't know if we're ready or not. We're concerned about what other people think. We don't know what our horse is going to do. We just feel like we don't have control of a lot of things. So it really is kind of scary. And again, that feeling of vulnerability. The other thing is that sometimes when we think about, and I'm just going to use the example of showing, is that it's kind of like there's this almighty standard. And that's true to a certain extent, that when you go to shows, that you're in the arena and either a judge or a timer determines a result. But beneath the surface, and more importantly to you, is your story and your experience. And the reason that we have horses to begin with is how much we love them and how much joy they bring to us. And showing or going out and about or being a little more vulnerable is just one more way that we potentially stretch ourselves, have another element of fun. And so there's, your story is your particular experience and where you are and why you do what you do. And it's really easy to lose sight of that amid kind of the ultimate standard of performance of a show. So I'm just kind of touching the very surface of that topic. But in the middle of all this, while I was filming those 4 weeks, and I've really been working on my upcoming webinar series because of your feedback, I had the opportunity to do a 3-day seminar with my mentor and friend, Dr. Jim Lair at Brave Hearts, which is a veteran equine program outside of Chicago. Awesome program. And one of the things that Dr. Lair said that really touched me is he said that no matter what it is that we do, that we need a navigation system. And I'm just going to use, and he used this example, in all of our GPSs, which would be hard for us to not have these days, we know we have to put in where we are, and then we have to put in where we're going, and then the GPS tells us you can get from A to B this way or that way, and we choose the route. And without those coordinates, so to speak, knowing where we are and where we're going, we're just going to get very frustrated and have a lot of anxiety, and who knows where we'll go. And that made so much sense to me. And he called the quadrant of where we're going as going home. That, that it feels good, that, achievement, but more than that, meaning and joy, and just what in your heart as, you know, with the kind of the essence of what you're doing. So it made me think a lot about that analogy, and he gave us exercises, and I've been doing them ever since. But I'd like for you to think about these steps that I've talked about. I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned from you with your feedback as a type of GPS, and that when you get the elements, the clarity of the elements within each piece, and you stay focused on them, and you learn how to not get side railed, you will line yourself up in the most efficient way possible to work toward getting to your destination. And it just becomes so much more clear, so much more grounding, and you have ways of making decisions, because all along the way we all have to make a lot of decisions. So I love that analogy, and I wanted to share it with you. So the first part of the showing navigation system, if you will, is to set your true north, which was a perfect companion to what I just said in terms of like, getting really clear. And the feedback that I had in this piece is that a lot of times it's hard to know how to do that, number one, which I'm going to help you with that. The second thing is that it's hard to determine how to make decisions and how to set that true north when there have been things like injuries or setbacks or things about your horse, or maybe interest change, or you're getting older. And so, how do you sort through that to establish your own personal true north? And then the other part of true north is just knowing that this feeling of calmness and focus that comes from within you is essential for you to get to where you want to go. And those are skills that can be developed. So setting your true north, while it might seem esoteric, for lack of a better word, is so important. And it should, I don't use that word should very much, but it can be so compelling and so personal to you that it's moving to you and that it gets you going. And it's not about comparison. It's about your purpose for what you do with your horse and why you show and what you want your showing experience to be like. It's not just results in the arena, although of course we want that. Okay, the second thing is preparation and planning. And this was some of the feedback I got was that there are so many things to work on, and for yourself and for your horse and for the two of you, that you don't know where to start, and that you feel, and that you don't know if you're ready to go show or not, and how do you make those decisions. And then there can be other challenges like the barn you're in, or trainers, or lack of support. And so that gave me a bigger picture to address those pieces in the training that I'm going to do coming up, because there are ways to determine your next steps. And again, they're very personalized. And with that clarity and trusting this GPS system to like stay in your own lane, if you will, that you can make those decisions about what to work on and if you're ready. So that's that one. The next one is shine, get your shine on, which is the actual show day. And this is one of my favorite topics, because while it's one of the most, seems like, and is, of course, one of the most intimidating, you feel really nervous, you feel distracted or compare yourself to other people or their judge or all of those things, there really is a straightforward way that you can set yourself up for success in the arena. And a lot of it is the preparation you do on show day of yourself and your horse and getting ready to go into the arena. And then knowing how to sustain that calmness and focus moment to moment in the show arena, which is your job and your communication with your horse. And even though you're in the show arena, it's still you and your horse. It's that beautiful synchronicity with your partner that you so want. And in some ways, the show arena, if you choose to look at it this way, can be that time when things get so drilled down that it's just undistracted, you and your horse. And you prepare and you go for it, and you have parts of it will be great, parts of it will need to be picked up and tuned on, and then you leave the arena, and that's another topic about just the immediate time leaving the arena, so that you set it up so that you can take a big breath. Okay, so then you have your results. And so the fourth piece is a 5-star review. And to learn how to delineate the information that you need to go back home or go back to wherever and do your next steps. And you can decide both from your heart, from video evidence, from the judge's scorecard. There's lots of data sources. But there are ways for you to just really know and simplify, what are the things that I need to do next? What's most important? So that's what I plan to do to help you with in these. I start this coming Wednesday, and I'm going to do these series of 4 webinars. They're going to be about 4 to 5 days apart, so you have time to come to the live event or listen to the replays and kind of get it into your bones. And I'm going to give you guidelines. I'm going to give you clarity for each one of those pieces, because you'll always be working on those pieces. But the more clear you get about what home is for you, like where, what's the meaning of this showing experience, and what makes it rich for you, and how can you just keep learning and enjoying and making it meaningful, because that's really, I'm sure, a big part of why you do it. So that's what I have for you today. Between all of the feedback that you gave me, which I'm so grateful for, thank you, for the wonderful, it just kind of happened that I had this seminar with Dr. Lair, and then just thinking about it and putting things together, I'm really excited to share the gems of what I believe and know from both research and experience and coaching to be the most important pieces, and I'm going to share them with you. And if you choose to join me in the webinar series, so just click the link, and if for more information about that, and leave a comment for me. Thank you.